Okay, I'm gonna take you off of this here again, and we'll get you so you can see the junction box. That other thing is snapped on there, clipped on there, and now we've got a separate cavity for where all the wires fit into this junction box. I've got all the wire nuts on, and that green wire is a ground wire, okay? And they just attached that green wire right to the metal box. You see right up there in the top of that metal box, it's like pop riveted on there. And that was included in the box. And that bare ground wire came in with the Romex. It was a Romex 14-2 wire Romex, which means one white wire, one black wire, and one ground wire. Okay, so that's what we got up there. Now you have to push that all back in the box before I put that cover plate on. Let's do it. If there's nothing more that you're going to learn from this video, maybe you can learn something from this. I've got the small little battery re-hooked up to my video camera that it came. Here's a battery. This battery, believe it or not, is twice as big as the one that I just put back in my camera. And I don't usually, and the one I have in my camera now is the one that came with it. Then I bought this one at a battery company, and guess how much I spent for this? This was before I knew about any of this stuff. $50 for this. Once I did that and I started buying stuff through Amazon, I found out they had even bigger ones. And I ended up buying 3 batteries. I think I bought a 2-pack and one or something, and they were way less than $50. I forget how much they were. This was years ago, maybe $10, $12 a battery or something. And then I needed to get a battery charger, and they had a single battery charger, but then I looked and they had a double battery charger, and the double battery charger didn't cost that much more than the single battery charger. So I just recharged up these. This was the one that was in my camera just now. Or actually, no, it wasn't. Yes, it was. This one was. And you can see I'm charging it now. It's only got 40% charge on it. It was starting to flash at me on my camera, so I took it out. Now I've got all these charged, and the one with the camera is smaller than this one, but I charged that because that one was dead as a doornail all the way, and I don't usually use it anymore. Usually I use just the big ones. Once I get one done, I'll do another one before I charge it, knowing that I've got this one, and then I use this one as a backup. I use a small one that I got in the video camera as a backup too, but that one's so dead, so I charged that one up. Now I'm using that one. It only gives me an hour and a half charge. These give me, I don't know, 10-hour charge or something. So anyways, that's what I'm doing there. And let's get back to our project, shall we? Good Lord, what is she doing? Baby, what are you doing?
I'm oiling my tiki.
Look at that. That's pretty cool. Where'd you get that?
What, oil?
The tiki.
Oh, friends.
Oh, you had it in Hawaii, huh?
Yes, I did.
And it dried all out. So what are you doing here? You're taking...
Well, I'm trying to wax it or oil it because it cracked. It's so dry here in Reno.
Right here, huh?
That it cracked, yes.
And look at this. She had a drum, and moving it from Hawaii to the mainland, look at that. It cracked here and here. This piece here cracked, see there? We put some glue on there, and we're just using that to glue it. And it cracked all the way up there. So she's hoping this doesn't crack anymore. I don't think it will. But she cleaned it. She used some cleaning stuff. What did she use? Some sort of wood for good
Method.
daily clean method. Oh, your pot's
Target.
getting ready to go. She got that from Target. Then we went to Home Depot. We got some Old English, and I knew they had the dark scratch cover for dark woods, Old English. Okay, but I didn't know they had kind of a clear oil, and that's what she's using too. That's for lighter cabinets and stuff. That's for reconditioning your wood too.
Yeah.
So that's just a different color for light. Helps protect wood surfaces. A lemon oil Old English. Okay, so that's not to stain lighter wood. That's just
it's just to
condition it.
Yeah.
So she cleaned it with that. Then she used a little bit of this, I think, first to kind of put a little bit of moisture in there. Then that dried. Then she used the Old English, for dark wood scratch cover. Okay, and of course we got it from our favorite store, Home Depot, of course. And put that on there for all the little places. She used a rag. I even gave her some Q-tips to kind of get in between the nooks and crannies if she needed it. Let that dry. Now she's putting some more over that. And that's going to help condition this a little bit because it's drier here in the mainland, drier air where we live as opposed to in Hawaii. Okay, good job, baby.
Thank you.
All right, back at it. Let's get up here. I'm gonna leave the camera rolling. See, here's my little tripod right there. Okay, next step here is to get those wires pushed back up in there. I think I'm gonna push these red and white wires back in there first, and then I'll put the stiff solid wires with the wire nuts, and I'll put those over the top. That'll kind of help push that back in there and help hold those wires. Okay, I got the green. Now I'm putting the black in there, pushing that back in there. And the reason why I'm doing this, because I wanted to double check, make sure I could do this without getting back up in the attic. Because obviously, if you need to do this, even in a 4-inch can, you can. Because again, if your ceiling is a first floor, ground floor ceiling, and maybe you've got a flooring space up above at a second floor, maybe you don't have an attic where you can get into, you know? How would you be able to replace this if you couldn't get up into the attic? That's why I'm trying to do it from down here, to show you that if I can do it, you can do it. It was tricky. It was tricky, but we're doing it, aren't we? I'm pushing that all back in there. Get your light switch turned off, of course. Okay. All right. Now, before I put that up, I'm going to show you that little tab I was talking about. See that little tab up there? It's like a wing, and it's on a spring. It's kind of spring loaded, so I can kind of push on it. It pushes back. It's got a little nib on it. When I put this up in there, I can fit it and then push it in, and that thing springs out and covers over to here, and that's what that little groove. So that little groove's for. That has just like a little tit on it, and it sets on that and grabs that. Okay. Okay. Let's get you back on here. Okay. Let's see here if I can't. this on is, okay. Let's see if I can't push that. I should be able to just push on it hard. No, I thought I could push on it hard and have that thing spring loaded up. But here, okay, I can do it this way. There. All right. That's on there. Slide that into place. Now let's get you back up there so you can kind of see that. And you can see what I'm talking about. If you've never done this before, I think this is helpful. See how that's on there? You know, it sets on there like that. It snaps on like that. Look at that. And I can reach up in there and make sure from left to right it's pushed over on it, right? And it is. Voila. Look at that, would you? Didn't even have to go back up in the ceiling, but of course, I've got to go back up in the ceiling, because if you've been watching this whole video series, you will know that there's plywood that's up above that I had to cut out with a Sawzall, and I had blow-in insulation above that, and I pushed all the blow-in insulation over. I've got to get back up there, re-secure that plywood on there, and then rearrange all the insulation, okay? So, that's what I have to do. What is our next step now? Our next step is to push this back up there and line it up, okay? Stick with me, we're almost there.